What's up, guys? It's your girl, Angel Marie from All the Above, and I'm joined here today with hip-hop artist RiZ.
What's up?
How are you?
I'm good. I feel like I'm busy. It's like so much traffic, trying to get here on time,
True.
just being everywhere appropriately. But I feel good.
You made it on time. That's all that matters, right?
Where we here. Right.
And I mean, the weather's getting nicer. The sun is shining. How was your plans for the weekend? Did you do anything fun?
This past weekend was actually one of the first weekends I got to relax because the 2 weekends ago I graduated and my little sister graduated.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So that was like super busy. And then the week after that we had like another event going on at the lab, and then I also pod. So it'd be like just a lot of movement happening. But this week I got to relax a little bit, lock in, help me focus back on the music, which was really good because everything else was just taking up so much time in the day because it was mandatory time. I'm like, how do I get into my creative space comfortably without feeling like I got to force it? So this weekend was like one of those weekends for sure.
Shout out to you.
Right,
I mean, it's Memorial Day weekend coming up after this. So I feel like you're going to get back to being busy. You deserve some rest.
Right. Of course.
So you ready to get into this interview?
Yeah, let's do it.
Good. So first and foremost, what inspired you to pursue a career in music?
Man, I think it started a long time ago when like I played sports growing up. Basketball was my biggest one. And I've always like noticed just like systematically how it was set up. Same thing just with the education system. Same thing with just like our society in general. And it made me like curious of how I could get my voice out, because a lot of people knew me as like a basketball player or like a straight A student back in high school, but I wasn't speaking up about what I cared about, and music was kind of like an easy way to do that because everybody was doing it to talk about what they wanted to talk about. And I'm like, I think I could do this. And then first time I hit the stage and all the energy that just came back after like my first verse and being super nervous, like I'm like, oh no, I love this. Like this is what I want to do.
Nice. So you found your voice. That's all that matters.
Yeah, exactly.
Now I am curious, how did you develop your artist name? Where did RiZ come from? I know a lot of kids nowadays be like, you ain't got enough RiZ or something. Is that
no,
tied
my
into?
name was before that, which is so crazy. It was like ahead of the time. But essentially it's capital R, lowercase I, capital Z. And my real name, if people know what it is kind of a derivative of that. But when I started figuring out like my rap name, people was like Breezy, Drizzy, Wheezy. So I'm like, let me go with RiZ. And I'm like, nah, RiZ sounds a little corny. And I never got called my government name much growing up anyway. So I wasn't used to hearing it. I can't say it.
I'll play with you. I knew you was going to say it.
No, yeah. But what was crazy though was in my middle school yearbook, me and somebody else had the same name and he wrote RiZ in the yearbook. And I'm like, is he talking about me or is he talking about him? Because he never went by the name. So I'm like, I think he was talking about me. So that was like how I like got the name, and then I started using it in my music, and then it just kind of fit. So people don't even question it now. Everywhere I go, it's
true.
RiZ.
Has he ever reached out to you like, yo?
No, he showed me that love too. Like I just like when I posted something, he shouted like he liked it and everything. So I'm like, that's cool. He still tapped in. So
nice. Okay, full circle moment.
Exactly.
Now I'm curious, when it comes to your music though, what kind of message do you like to relate through your music? What do you hope your audience gets out of it when they hear RiZ songs?
I feel like one way to describe it, if you haven't heard me before, is like a conscious hustler kind of mentality.
Ooh, okay.
So it's like, we understand where we come from, like, and culturally within the last like 30 years or so, like what got us to that point. But then like, where do we want to take it? And we seen, what the decisions of the past have gotten us, and they want us to do better. So what does quote unquote better look like? So it's kind of that energy, but at the same time, it's through that perspective, but we're in a lot of different settings. So it could be on a, kind of inspirational, motivational vibe. It could be on a we in the club vibe. It could be we having a relationship conversation type of vibe, but it's still like it's through that lens, but we giving that good energy that you like.
Love that. So you got a little bit of everything for everybody.
For sure.
Okay,
for sure.
Where so that means everybody can tap in, 100%, all right?
100%.
Now, as a music artist, how would you define your sound? What do you believe makes you unique and stand out within this music industry?
Well, what makes me unique, I think, is the versatility through like my consistency though. Like no matter what sound is going to be, it's always going to come back and sound like me. And I think essentially my life, I feel like everybody has a unique story, but the way that I can artistically eloquate mine is like, it's a vibe, you know what I'm saying? Because I listen a lot more than I talk. So when I'm talking on the record, I'm taking in a lot of perspectives and including my own, but to make sure that people feel the feeling that I'm talking about. But maybe I just paint it like this a little bit. But I don't know. It feels very digestible, at least like in the feedback, which is cool.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Now, the fact that it sounds like your music and your creative process is very well thought out type of process.
Yeah.
So was it always like that in the beginning? How would you say your music has evolved since you first started?
That's funny. I think I just learned more about music theory itself. So like how to, counting syllables or just making sure you're staying in a certain pocket. And what does that do accompanying the other instruments versus like, I got bars. I just want to get these bars off. Like that's all that it was about in the beginning. It's like, I got the illest metaphors or something like that. But now it's like, I want to be metaphorical. I want to kind of talk about something. Maybe it feel a little bit like a story or a journey, but at the same time, we vibing. So if you don't know what I'm saying, I want you to vibe with me. But once you tap into the words, now it's like, we here. Yeah, we here.
Okay, we in here like swimwear. Okay,
yeah,
y'all.
Swimwear, if you know.
Now, it is time that we have to get into your music. Okay. So can you tell us about your song Kontrol? What is that all about?
Oh, man. So Kontrol is kind of like ushering in a new era, I feel like, of same thing, like finding yourself. But I find myself in a lot of different spaces, whether it's like an education space, whether it's like a nonprofit space, whether it's in the music space, but I'm always going to be me and RiZ and like in control. And I'm not going to be out of character or anything like that. So even with the visual, me and my lady, we got to go to Paris. Shout out to her, by the way, Janae, which is really cool. Our first international trip because she's into fashion. So while we was out there, I'm like, we got to shoot a video. But we were in a few different locations that's like, you're really not supposed to be filming, but I kind of like, got away with it a little bit, but it's because I was in control. I wasn't tripping. I was chilling. So it's like, it's all about how you do things. So it's kind of like, if you hear some of the words, the intensity is there, but at the same time, it's for a purpose and it's with a purpose. And then we just vibing.
Love that.
Yeah.